Hello, good morning from here. This is 7:40 thereabouts. So welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? Hope everything is fine. Hope everyone sleeps good. So no matter any situation, let's keep on believing in the name of the Lord. He never fails and he will never fail. So this morning I was reading, yeah, before I decided to do this video. I was reading the book of 1 Samuel 26. David speaks all again, yeah. So let us read it together. You can follow from your own Bible. I'm reading from English Standard Version, yeah. Yeah, so I start from 1. Then the Zephite came to Saul at Gibeah, saying, "Is not David hiding himself on the hill of Hachilah, which is on the east of Joshua?" So Saul arose and went down to the wilderness of Ziph with 3,000 chosen men of Israel. With 3,000 chosen men of Israel to seek David in the wilderness of Ziph. Only one man. 3,000 men looking for one man. Huh? So, and Saul encamped on the hill of Hachilah, which is beside the road on the east of Jeshimon. But David remained in the wilderness. When he saw that Saul came after him into the wilderness, David sent out spies and learned that Saul had indeed come. Then David rose and came to the place where Saul had encamped. And David saw the place where Saul lay. Where Saul lay. With Abner. With Abner, the son of Ner, the commander of his army. This is commander of Saul's army. His name was Abner. So Saul was lying within the encampment while the army was encamped around him. Then David said to Ahimelech the Hittite and to Joab's brother Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, "Who will go down with me into the camp to Saul?" And Abishai said, "I will go down with you." So David and Abishai went to the army by night, and there lay Saul sleeping within the encampment with his spear stuck in the ground at his head. Hey, And Abner and the army lie around him. Hey, hey, someone who came to look for one man with 3,000 men. Now they were all lying down. They were lying down, sleeping. Even the army that was supposed to protect, Saul, and Saul was lying. Saul was sleeping, and they also were sleeping. Then someone they were looking for, who was supposed to run far, who was supposed to run away, maybe cross the border, run into another country, run far. Look at, was there around them when they were sleeping, passed through, saw them sleeping. So what is this verse teaching us? Let's move forward. We shall come to that later. We shall come to the question later. Then, oh my God. Yeah, so shall the Lord give our enemy, show that the Lord deliver our enemy into our hands. The Lord shall deliver our enemies into our hands. The enemy, they came with one man. David was only one man. Saul, because of David, now left what he was doing, left the people he was supposed to be taken care of, and he came into the wilderness because he was in charge, because he was still on the throne. He think he could destroy him. Who is he that says, and it happens when the Lord has not said so? When the Lord has not said it's over, when the Lord has not even commanded so, it can't be possible, because you are not the owner of that life. You are not the one that created that life. So look at them now, because we are still man. So the army can sleep, the army can be tired. So they can be tired. Oh, the Lord is wonderful. We are coming. Wait, we are still coming. We are coming. So I was where? And his pair, yeah, we were there. So yes, let's just read 26:7. So David and Abishai went to the army. No, let us read 6 again. Then David said to Abimelech the Hittite, and to Job's brother Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, who will go down with me into the camp to Saul? And Abishai said, I will go down with you. So David and Abishai went to the army by night. Went to the army by night. Yeah. So I want to make a point here. Don't sleep at night. Don't do what? Don't sleep at night. Because the enemy of a man mostly come at night. Don't oversleep. Yeah, I know we possess this human flesh. After the day's hustle and everything, we get tired at night. Sometimes even to say a word of prayer, we find it very difficult. And yeah, it's not easy. But then we are in a battlefield. So in a battlefield, when you sleep, your enemy can strike at any time. The enemy you think that has gone far, the enemy you think that has maybe has forgotten about you, you don't know his strategies. Look at what's happening here. Look at what's happening here. It might be Saul and the army, where they thought maybe by day they might the thoughts during the day. Yes, maybe during the day now, maybe during the day, they will look for, they would look for David during the day. They had the opportunity to find him during the day. So at night they decided to relax and sleep, because it's only a man that that relaxes, a man that that is at peace, a man that has nothing to worry him, can relax, that thinks that nothing is happening, I'm in charge, can relax. Because if they were worried, there's no how they could sleep at night, knowing fully well that the enemy could come in at any time. But they were very sure of themselves. They were very full of themselves. Don't underestimate your enemy. Don't underestimate your enemy, and don't oversleep at night. A night is the time to, for one, spiritual warfare. A night is the time to watch. Nobody say you shouldn't sleep. Our body needs rest, to be able to regain energy for the day, so that during the day we can be able to function correctly. Yes, we need that sleep. Even God gives us, he said that he's the one that gives us below sleep. 15 minutes, 20 minutes at night, 30 minutes, depending on the activity depending on your activity, you understand. So, but then before going to bed, we need to sleep for God to take control. Yeah, commit the night into the the hands of God, then commit it into the hands of God, then he will enter into the battlefield and fight for you, watch over you, because he say he's the one that watcheth over us. He said that the watchman watcheth but in vain. If the Lord does not watch the city, we are coming there. We are coming there. Look at what's happened to Saul. He thinks it was a lesson that the Lord taught him. We are coming there. So that's why I decided to make this video to, I decided to make this video because I read this verse and I began to talk. I was just talking to myself. I wasn't talking to anybody. I said, who am I talking to? And let me just make a video to, to share this thing to us there. We are coming there. Because if the Lord does not, be you who, you can have the whole army. You can have millions of army. They possess flesh. Even if you have the whole army, if the Lord decide the day the Lord decide to bring you down, the day the Lord decide to bring you down, you must be brought down. You must be brought down. Those army can be killed by the angels of the Lord, just like the Lord did to King what is his name? Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, who threatened Hezekiah, who insulted the name of the God of all Israel. What happened to him and his army? We'll read there. We'll go there some other time. So when the Lord decide, be you who? Are you a king? Are you a president? A governor? Are you full of yourself? The day the Lord will choose to bring you down, the day the Lord will choose to give your neck on the palm of your enemy, that day will be over for you. And there's nothing two ways about it. That day, it will be over. And there's nothing two ways about it. You are not the first that the Lord has dealt with. You are not the first and you are not going to be the last. Look at the whole king of Israel chasing only one person. Chasing only one person. What happened to him at night? He forgot that he possessed human flesh. He forgot that this flesh can be weak. He forgot that this flesh can sleep. He forgot that God can command that flesh. And that flesh will be weak when he does not expect it. It's only God that renews our strength. Why was David not sleeping at that time? Why wasn't David sleeping? Because God was with David. God was with David. God had not even started with what he chose David for. God had not even started with David because God chose him to be a king over his people. So God had not finished with David at all. So who are you to destroy who God has not destroyed? Who are you to bring down who God has not brought down? That person you are chasing, are you sure you are not chasing yourself? That person you want to kill, are you sure you don't want to kill yourself? That person you want to kill before his or her time, are you sure? Are you sure you are going to survive? Are you sure you are going to survive from that battle? Hey, who are you? Who are you to decide? Let us not forget, we have this flesh. We have this flesh. If God, look, it's God that renew our strength. This strength, we are breathing, we are talking, we are making a noise, we are threatening people, we are shooting at people, we are shooting at the innocent, destroying the innocent, chasing people, being ungrateful, because we still have this flesh. Because this flesh is still strong, walking, because the Lord is still giving you time to come out from that evil. Because the day the Lord will choose, the day the Lord will choose to weaken that flesh, you cannot even, when someone, if someone does not breathe well, if only to breathe to this breathing. If you cannot breathe well, you cannot even talk. Yeah, I'm talking as you see me now talking because I can breathe well. Because God has given me the ability to breathe well. Because God has made my respiratory system to function accordingly. That's why I can talk. Go and ask people who are lying down in the hospital with a life supporting machine if they can talk. Look at what happened to King Saul, a whole king. So he could sleep. He left his throne. David was not dragging his throne with him. God chose David. It was God that chose David. So we are coming there. Let me just finish reading this verse. Then, before I by the grace of God, before I can be able to give us some points. Now, so, and let us read this. Then David said to Abimelech the Hittite and to Joab's brother Abishai the son of Zeruiah, who will go down with me into the camp to Saul? And Abishai said, I will go down with you. So David and Abishai went to the army by night, and there lies Saul sleeping within the encampment with his spear stuck in the ground at his head. And Abner and the army lie around him, around their king, or somebody they were supposed to protect. Someone they were supposed to protect. So who are they? They possess flesh. It's flesh. If the king could be tired, even they could be tired too, because it's the flesh. It's at night. They were tired. So there's no how they could stay awake while the king was sleeping. They walked throughout the day. They walked about looking for one person, looking for David. So they were tired at night. So they were tired. But David wasn't, because the Spirit of the Lord was upon David. Then Abishai said to David, God has given your enemy into your hand this day. So shall the Lord give all our enemy into our hands. Our unrepentant enemy, God shall give them into our hands. We might not be the one to destroy them, but the Lord knows how to destroy them. Let's read further. So God has given your enemy into your hand this day. Now, please, let me pin him. To the earth with one stroke of the spear, and I will not strike him twice. But David said to Abishai, do not destroy him. For who can put out his hand against the Lord's anointed and be guiltless? We are coming there. And David said, as the Lord lives, the Lord will strike him, or his day will come to die, or he will go down into battle, and perish. The Lord forbid that I should put out my hand against the Lord's anointed. But take now the spear that is at his head and the jar of water, and let us go. So David took the spear and the jar of water from Saul's head, and they went away. No man saw it or knew it. None did any awake, or they were all asleep, because a deep sleep from the Lord had fallen upon them. Then David went over to the other side and stood afar off on the top of the hill, with a great space between them. And David called to the army and to Abner the son of Ner, saying, will you not answer, Abner? Then Abner answered, who are you? Who calls to the king? And David said to Abner, are you not a man who is like you in Israel? Why then have you not kept watch over your lord the king? For one of the people came in to destroy the king your lord. This thing that you have done is not good. as the Lord lives, you deserve to die because you have not kept watch over your Lord. Unless the Bible says that unless the Lord watch the city, the watchman watched but in vain. Look at it. Unless the Lord watch the city, the watchman watched but in vain. Look at Abner was supposed to watch over. Who is Abner to watch over Saul? If the Lord has not watched over Saul, who is Abner to watch over Saul? Who is Abner? If the Lord has not watched over Saul, who is Abner to watch over Saul? So look at it. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. So, and David said to Abner, are you not a man who is like you in Israel? Why then have you not kept watch over your Lord the king? For one of the people came in to destroy the king, your Lord. This thing that you have done is not good. As the Lord lives, you deserve to die because you have not kept watch over your Lord, the Lord's anointed. And now see where the king's pay is, and the jar of water that was at his head. Saul recognized David's voice and said, is this your voice, my son David? Now David is so he knew that David was his son when he was looking for him to destroy. So let us listen. That's when the Lord will give your enemy into your hands, when they will see how vulnerable they are, now they will understand that truly, now they will begin to tell you some sweet words. They'll begin to call you sweet names. But when the enemy was pushing them to destroy you, had it been, don't allow yourself to be destroyed by your enemy. Don't allow yourself to be destroyed. Yeah, this is a great lesson, because if they had destroyed David by now, how could he call him, is it your son? Is it your voice, my son? Yeah, but we are coming to, yeah, we'll come to that later. And so, is it my son? I'm looking for where the place I read last. So, yes. Then, and Spanja. So Saul recognized David's voice and said, is this your voice, my son David? And David said, it is my voice, my Lord, O King. Even David did not allow Saul to get the best of him. David did not allow King Saul to get the best of him. Yet he humbled himself before him. He still humbled himself, calling him Lord and my King. David humbled himself. He did not allow Saul to get the best of him, knowing fully well that this is the Lord's anointed. This is not his battle. That Saul might be wanting to destroy him, but yet he submitted himself, because he's not respecting Saul as a man of wisdom. He knew he wasn't giving that respect to Saul. He was trying to play to fulfill all righteousness. Yeah, there are some behavior, there are some attitude the Lord expects from us. Even in time of battle, even when the Lord is fighting that battle for you, there are some attitude, there are some behavior the Lord expects from you. He might not ask you, behave like this, behave like that, but he expects you. He expects that you should know the attitude you should display. Yeah, because if you're a good person, the Bible says that that a sweet water does not come out from a bitter water. No, a sweet water does not come out from a bitter fountain, something like that. Yeah. So if you are a good person, no matter the situation, no matter any situation, you can still display righteously. You can still display righteously and with wisdom. This is what David added here. We are coming to that. This is what David fears the Lord. David loved the Lord. He recognized that this is the Lord's anointed. He had the opportunity. The Lord gave him into his hand. It was a test that David passed. David passed a test. And the Lord took, in fact, the Lord took totally control. Because, let me say, theoretically, the Lord gave David the opportunity to destroy Saul. But spiritually or prophetically, the Lord did not tell David. David did not hear the voice of God audibly to destroy Saul. You understand? But from the look of what was happening, from the look of the opportunity he had, the Lord gave Saul to David. But David, being a man of wisdom, a man that fears the Lord, he did not destroy Saul because he knew that Saul, though Saul was after him, but Saul still had one weapon he would have used to bring David down. Let me say spiritually. Yeah, because we should be very careful and should be very, very wise. We should be very, very careful and be very wise, because the weapon that Saul had he was God anointed. That was the only weapon he had. Yeah, he was God's anointed because God sent Samuel to anoint him king over Israel. So because he was Prophet Samuel was the one who anointed Saul to be king over Israel. So he had that weapon as the Lord's anointed. So David knew this because he had that wisdom. He didn't want to fall into that trap. That was a kind of trap. You understand? It was a kind of trap. It was two-edged sword, and which he acted wisely. Yeah. Let's continue. So it is, and David said, it is my voice, my Lord, O King. And he said, why does my Lord pursue after his servants? For what have I done? What evil is on my hands? Now therefore, let my Lord the King hear the words of his servants. If it is the Lord who has stirred you up against me, may he accept an offering. But if it is men, may they be cursed before the Lord. For they have driven me out this day, that I should have no share in the heritage of the Lord, saying, go, serve other gods. Now therefore, let not my blood fall on the earth away from the presence of the Lord. For the king of Israel has come out to seek a single flea like one who hunts a partridge in the mountains. Then Saul said, I have sinned. Return my son David, for I will no more do you harm, because my life was precious in your eyes this day. Behold, I have acted foolishly, and have made a great mistake. And David answered and said, here is the spear, O king. Let one of the young men come over and take it. The Lord rewards every man for his righteousness and his faithfulness. For the Lord gave you into my hand today. I will not put out my hand against the Lord's anointed. Behold, as your life was precious this day in my sight, so may my life be precious in the sight of the Lord. Hallelujah. In the sight of the Lord. Those people will offend you. People will do a lot of things. You overlook them. You will go and report them to the Lord. Yeah. Because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They are mighty through God. You will leave them. But don't allow yourself to be destroyed. That does not mean you will be foolish and allow yourself. Look, do your spiritual warfare. The Bible says that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through God. Yes, God will raise up. You see, the Bible says that God will raise up a wicked man against the wicked. Don't worry. God will raise up wicked people who will destroy your enemy. Let us read forward. God will destroy, but the only thing, don't allow yourself to be destroyed by the enemy. If not, he will not have the opportunity to confess. There will be no opportunity for him to apologize. There will be no opportunity for him to shout for help. If this man had destroyed David, if Paul had gotten David earlier that day, there's no how you would have known that David could have even come into the camp where he was sleeping and took away his bed, took away his water jar. So David was a man of prayer. He was a warrior. He was both physically and spiritually warrior. David was a warrior. He was a man of war. So if you read the book of Psalms, when you read most of the prayers, they were David's prayers. He knew spiritual warfare. So he did not allow himself to be destroyed. Yeah, no. David, if you read the story of David, David died in his old age. Nobody killed him. So spiritual warfare is very, very essential. You understand? You may not kill your enemy with gun. You may not kill your enemy with a spear. You may not kill your enemy with a knife. You may not poison your enemy, but the Lord knows how to deal with them. If you are a warrior, a prayer warrior, like David was a prayer warrior. Go and read most of the Psalms. Most of the Psalms were written by David. Most of the Psalms were written by David. David was a warrior. He died in his old age. Very good old age. You understand? So the only thing is, be wise. But be wise. Don't allow yourself to be killed by the enemy. You understand? So look at what is going on. If Saul had killed David earlier that day, would he had be here apologizing? So let's read forward. I have acted foolishly and have made a great mistake. And David answered and said, here is this spear, O king. Let one of the young men come over and take it. The Lord, O king, let the Lord reward every man for his righteousness and his faithfulness. For the Lord gave you into my hand today. I would not put out my hand against the Lord's anointed. Behold, as your life was precious this day in my sight, so may my life be precious in the sight of the Lord. And may he deliver me out of all tribulation. Then Saul said to David, blessed be you, my son, David. You will do many things and will succeed in them. So David went his way and Saul returned to his place. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So shall your enemy will gather. So all our enemies shall gather to bless us. Yes. Because the Lord will make them to fail. All their ways shall be slippery. We shall not be brought down. The enemy shall not destroy us. The Lord will always give us victory over our enemy. Look at King Saul. He was the king of Israel. He was chosen by God. When people complained that they wanted to have a king like other nations, then God was their king. God didn't want Israel. God did not want Israel to have king because he wanted to be their king. You know, as a chosen people, as a chosen nation, the Lord wanted to be their king. But when they complained that they wanted to have a king, now God sent Prophet Samuel to anoint Saul as a king over his people. God chose him. So, you know, when you read the story from the beginning and everything, when Saul disappointed the Lord, he disobeyed the Lord and so many things and all that. So now the evil spirit, spiritually, Saul was already fired by the Lord, but physically he was still on the throne. You understand? Because Holy Spirit is the only boss who can fire you and still keep you walking. Yeah, that is it. Because just check your situation today, are you still employed, or have you been fired and you are still working? So do some spiritual research. Do some spiritual research, because many people you see working, they are shouting hallelujah, jumping up and down. Many of them are fired, but they are still there working. Yeah, that's Holy Spirit for you. He is the only boss in the whole universe who can still fire you and still keep you working. Because King Saul was already fired, but yet he was still on the throne. God did not push him down from the throne. God did not push him down. God did not send any angel to come and throw him out of that throne. He was still there. He was still giving order. He was the people of God. We are still there, respecting him as their king. But spiritually, he was fired. Another person was already chosen. David was chosen in his place. Yeah, David was chosen. This is God for you. We don't play games with the Lord. So, and the evil spirit came upon Saul. Evil spirit from the Lord, always came upon Saul. So Saul was behaving like a lunatic. So each time that spirit came upon him, he was a kind of a lunatic, as someone who had, lost his mind and all that. So what happened, and David was recommended to him. So he called David and everything, because David was a musician. He was a gifted musician. So, and when each time he sang for Saul, and Saul was always had the peace, because he was gifted, because the calling of the Lord is of no repentance. He had that gift. He had that gift to sing, and people get well. So whenever he sang for King Saul always had his peace. The evil spirits always left him, you understand? So David didn't offend Saul in any way. David did not offend King Saul in any way. But this man was after this man. So the story is just broad, and what brought about it was jealousy. Jealousy is a bad spirit. So we should be careful of people with jealous. Let us not just be jealous, because that person you are jealous in might be someone that the Lord brought around to help you, to make you grow, to help your ministry, and you are there jealousing the person. You want to kill the person. You want to bring that person down for no just reason, for jealousy. Saul was the king. David was not the king. David was a shepherd boy. He was just a shepherd boy. David, if not for David, that's evil spirit maybe would have tormented Saul to death, would have disgraced him more than he was disgraced. But this man, each time he sang for Saul was always okay and all that. So what happened again? So now, when the Philistines came against the Israelites, they were there threatening them. This same David, that sang for King Saul, this same David that sang for him, and evil spirit left him. Also, the Lord also used David when the Goliath, we all know the story. When Goliath was, threatening the army of the living God, when he was threatening, King Saul couldn't do anything. King Saul did not raise up 3,000 army to fight Goliath. Who appeared again? David. David appeared with the gifts, his warrior gifts. He used that gift now to deliver the people of Israel on their way back, on their way from defeating the Philistines. Women now, they were singing. They sang praises. They were singing praises. David, Saul has killed his thousands, and David his 10,000. That is where the jealousy started. So what I wanted to say is, if David didn't have those gifts, you understand, those gifts of doing extraordinary, if King Saul had that wisdom, he would have known that this little boy is not just an ordinary person. This is someone who was gifted to help. You understand? So If he didn't have that gift, there's no how he could have sung for you, the king, and the evil spirit left you. If he didn't have that extraordinary gift, there's no how he could have fought against a giant. So, if David didn't have that gift, if Saul had that wisdom, he would have known that David was not an ordinary person. Because when the evil spirit was tormenting him, he took someone with, he took someone with the gift of God, the spirit of God, to chase the evil spirit away with just singing. So each time he sang, the evil spirit left King Saul. And moreover, if David wasn't an extraordinary person, there's no how he could have won Goliath, who and King Saul and all the army were unable to fight. He single-handedly defeated Goliath. He single-handedly defeated Goliath because the spirit of the Lord was upon him. So this is a man that Saul was jealous of. No one can bring down who the Lord is with. They never born that person. Nobody can be able to destroy someone who God is with. The Bible says, who he sees, I say it coming to pass, when the Lord commanded it not. Nobody. Look at what happened in that scenario. So Paul was this jealous. Paul was this Saul was this jealous, was this powerful, and he was unable to he was unable to fight Goliath, but he knew how to take 3,000 men and to look after one person. This is I don't know. This is this is cowardice. This is a sin of cowardice, because you did not even fight. Saul was, because he was the one commanding the army. He was unable to win Goliath, but he took army. He took his army and was looking for David. David, who helped him, who got his back and fought against the Philistines, who came to take over the land of Israel and turn them into slave. But the Lord used him. So he was not wise. He was not wise at all. And the Lord, another thing, David was so wise. He refused to put his hand in destroying God's anointed, because God knows how to destroy him. So what happened? You see, let us mind how we treat people, because we might think sometimes you say, after all, he can only bike. Let him back. What is it? He can only back. Look, he can only back. He can't do more than that. A backing dog sudden bites. Okay, fine. Look, that person might not bite you. That person might back. Okay, unless if that person is righteous with the Lord, go and pray. Go and pray and ask for forgiveness. Because in Igbo language they say, obugi mgbe egburu ka ọ na-akpọnwụ. Obugi mgbe egbudara, depending on the part of Igbo. You understand? In my place they say owumbo obuju. That is how my mother says it. Owumbo ebujuru ka ọ na-akpọnwụ means it's not when you cut down the tree that it will start to dry, it will start to dry, wither and all that. When you cut down a tree immediately, it will still look fresh. Yeah, it will still look fresh, but the tree is gone. Once it's gone, no matter how fresh that tree, the tree you just cut down now, it's when you see it immediately, it will look fresh. It's after maybe some time, After some time, you begin to see it, you begin to, dry out, you begin to wither and all that. So when you say that someone who you offended, and you refuse to recognize that you offend this person, let me go and ask for forgiveness, or you begin to say, no, wait, after all, talk, you go talk. Look at what happened here. What did David do? And I'm taking us to somewhere. David said, don't worry, that King Saul, something will happen to him. The Lord will strike him, or he will maybe go to battle and perish. If we read the story of Saul, do you know how Saul died? Do you know how he died? Do you know that this thing that David said here manifested against Saul? Because Saul died in the battlefield finally. He fell. It's a pity he died with Jonathan. Jonathan was a very good friend of David. He died. Yeah, he died in the battlefield. This curse was not broken upon Saul until he died. Until he died, yeah. For the fact, David did not kill him, but he killed him spiritually. Yeah. It's not he that has the gun, no, that has the power. It's not he that has the knife or spear that has the power. But this word, this our mouth, this mouth is more powerful than we think. This word is more powerful. That's why I gave that adage that in our place they say, David said this thing. After some time now, King Saul went to battle with his son Jonathan. When they went to, when God was no longer speaking to him, he had to look for a medium. He had to look for a medium. Now, after that, I don't know the spirit that the medium woke up, calling that spirit the spirit of Prophet Samuel. But after everything, the devil now, let me say that it's the devil. That God will raise up. The Bible says that God will raise up evil against the wicked. God will raise up evil. So finally, he went to a medium. The medium raised up. I believe that man, that's not how that man could be Prophet Samuel. The medium now raised up some demon that looks like Samuel. And now that demon now told him things. He went to the battle, and he died. He died there with his son Jonathan. So that is it, my people. Let us be careful of how we live our life here on earth. Let us learn lesson. Let us mind how we treat people. Let us deal with the spirit of jealousy. Let us deal with the spirit of disobedience. Because what led to all this? Because God wanted things that God would have established his kingdom forever, the way the Lord now established his kingdom, the kingdom of David forever. He chose Saul. Saul was the first king of Israel, but he failed. He failed as a result of disobedience. So let us be careful. Let us just be careful. Let us just be careful. So that is the Bible verse I wanted to share with us. Let us go through the video all over and over again. So the Lord will help us all. Let us be righteous. The Lord never abandons the righteous. The Lord never abandons the righteous. Let us be righteous. Let us be wise. So this is all I had. This is all I had for us this morning. So I hope someone is blessed with this word this morning. So I wish you all the best. Stay strong in the Lord. So bye. I will see you in my next video. Please don't forget to follow my page, share the video, like if you like the video. So thank you so much and remain blessed. Bye.